Welcome to Lessons with My Lawyer podcast. I'm Carcass John Fossum, and this is my illustrious friend and great lawyer, Brett Stalcup from Stalcup Law. Uh,
How
we're
you
great,
doing?
grateful to be here today. And man, do we have some hot opinions about some stuff. The Epstein files have been in everyone's mind, and I know that there's a lot of uh, uh, vitriol and a lot of rumors and a lot of innuendo, as we talked about in one of our last episodes. And so let's see if we can hone this down in getting some facts, or at least some legal answers to kind of what's going on. So, um, as I watched some of the Pam Bondi hearings, there were a number of the alleged victims in the gallery as Miss Bondi was questioned. And to me, I'm a little shocked after reading some of the actual names that were on the list. But in the files, the victims' names are not redacted. But the perpetrators or the alleged perpetrators are. So my question is, do these survivors of the Epstein files have any privacy rights under the law?
Hmm. I don't, as long as they're minors, I would say yes, but if they're over the age limit, I would say no. Uh, because if they're minors, I'm sure they'd bring them under John Doe or Jane Doe. Uh, does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of strange to me that the victims are public, and and I don't understand, and I guess from a legal standpoint you can't really put the accused out there. Do you think that that would taint a
Well,
jury?
no, I think it's an ongoing investigation, you know?
Well, well, they've had enough information to actually release a list.
Well, they have just releasing a list doesn't mean that anybody's been indicted. That's what my question is. Why are you releasing a list? Are they still under investigation? Are you going to do possible indictments as a statute run or not run? This is starting to be old news, don't you think?
Yeah, I think it is, but it's people are still bombarding me with questions about it. So, who legally authorized the release and the redactions in the Epstein files? Do you know that?
No, I don't know that.
I know
Uh,
I know the Supreme Court asked that they were released. That was my understanding, but I that's
I'm
all.
sure Pam Bondi has a lot to do with it, and then they all have to agree to release it. I don't know how they're released, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Uh, I don't know.
Okay. Well, once again, stuff is just flying all around, and you and I are very much the same. I approach things from I want to fix this and I want to know the truth, and you want to do the same, but you have a different angle because of your legal background.
Yeah, the
Um,
law.
yeah,
You
well,
know,
you know the law
are
better.
they going to indict anybody on this, or is it just going to be civil cases out the kazoo forever?
Well,
You know,
and
well,
that was one of
So Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, they've denied to testify in front of the Congress. So I would tell them to take the fifth, right?
yeah.
I would tell them to shush, don't say a word, make them prove it, and I don't think they can.
Hmm. Well, that's interesting because I don't. I think that they're. I mean, in my opinion, uh, and it's not a legal one, but I think they're guilty as charged. And come on, he didn't just take that airplane to go do charity work. I mean,
Oh
that's
no, listen, big boy Bill, he's laying in that hot tub doing a backstroke. How do you think he got in that hot tub? And how do you think he got out of that hot tub?
well. See, that's the thing. I mean, what happens if the authorities don't act? Is what legal recourse exists then? If they just
I don't know. I don't think that they're going to bring a criminal prosecution against anybody. Do you? I don't think the AG or the assistant or the U.S. attorney is going to bring anything against anybody.
well, why wouldn't they? I mean, if they've got evidence that there was criminal behavior going on, and
I
especially,
haven't seen any evidence of criminal behavior. I've just seen names plop up and emails go across. What was that one dude's name? He was the guy who was the PR marketing firm owner out of LA who resigned. He had some emails and they torched him and he resigned.
yeah,
Uh, and he where's the girl? That's I haven't seen any evidence of a crime. I've seen a lot of evidence of bad choices,
okay,
bad decision making. Like you've got this big pot called the Epstein pot, and in that pot is doo doo, right? In that pot, you're stirring doo doo up, and if your name's in that pot, you're doo doo, right? That's what's happening right now. Who else is in that pot?
so okay, let's say that there's no real criminal evidence, but is there a moral or a civil uh, responsibility that they, you know, I mean, I don't know. I'm grasping at straws here.
Moral. Okay, let's talk about that.
Okay.
You're talking about coming out of DC where everything's about power and money, and the second noise is louder than any Hoover vacuum cleaner you've ever owned. And when has moral or civil duty ever been included in any decision in Washington, D.C.?
Yeah. Well, and that is the truth. And I know that they've made efforts to try and quote unquote clean it up or drain the swamp, but there's just too many people involved and too much money,
Yeah,
I
that's
think.
it. And
It,
too
it
much way, too big of donors. Uh, but people's names are coming out and they're getting slammed. Look at Prince Andrew.
yeah.
The dude was on all fours, looking like a dog. I mean, what are you doing, dude? He's an idiot. Now, have we seen any evidence of him doing anything?
Well, just the picture. I mean,
What's the picture of him
well,
on all fours
yeah.
with his clothes on, looking like an idiot? So, again, my question is, what was he doing before he got on all fours? And what was he doing after?
Yeah. Well, and so man, what a sticky wicket, as my granddad used to say. So, if you're accused of something, I mean they're obviously going to be charged if they have evidence against them, right? But they're not going to be. You don't think they'll be charged if they don't have sufficient
Man, I
evidence?
think people are so sick of hearing about this deal. The only way that you're going to get some kind of criminal action is to really get somebody to roll over on this whole deal. I was there and I saw this.
Because some of in fact, Brandon and I have discussed it a little bit. Well, not a little bit, a lot. And he's really delved deep into this thing. And he said that the description of the parties and so forth is so gruesome that how could there not be some sort of a filing of some sort of criminal filing? But, once again, somebody has to step forward and say,
You're gonna spend a lot of money, dude,
yeah, well, they
trying to
spend a lot of
prosecute
money.
those guys.
Yeah.
This was a bad deal. I mean, Epstein was a bad person, and he was a pervert. And
Well, and evidently there's a whole list of perverts. You know what I
yeah,
mean? That
yeah,
were digging what he was selling.
yeah. But you think they all knew about each other? I
Well,
think he kept it pretty, one on one. Hey, I got this, going on. You ready to go to the island? Hey, I got this happening. You bringing the Russians? Yeah, I'm bringing the Russians. You know, what a mess.
it
Anyways,
it is a
I think
mess.
I'm sick of hearing about it because I don't like perverts.
Yeah, I don't like them either. In fact, you were saying on our last episode that you were starting to see an uptick in those types of cases
Oh
of
yeah,
child
amazing.
molestation and
Oh yeah,
whatever.
crazy.
Yeah.
Cases are just extreme, where you're like, OMG. You know what I mean?
Is it also a case where people are just turning a blind eye because they don't want to get involved, or they just let it go so far that it just almost seems hopeless? That's kind of what this whole thing seems like. It's like it's been so long,
Well,
and people,
Epstein was done before all the apps were out there.
yeah,
The fetish apps and this app and that app. He didn't need an app. He was making it happen.
well, yeah,
He
you
was
didn't need a
going,
computer. You don't
look,
need a computer with him. You just went right straight to the source,
yeah, he was going, listen,
allegedly.
he was going from having people drive like he was on that side of Palm Beach where the Kenny compound and John Lennon compound and all that stuff was. He's on that side, right? Well, you take a ride over there and it gets a little bit unbecoming. Well, he'd have people go drive the streets and get the girls and bring them over here to his side. That's exactly what happened.
Ugh, what a muddled mess.
Yeah.
Well, so the long and the short of it is, and we've talked about the statutes of limitations for. Is there I know there's a criminal statute of
Hey,
limitations. Is there a civil statute of
Brandon,
limitations?
Brandon, look at the criminal statute limitation uh, for sexual assault. Let's see what it says. Not aggravated sexual assault, sexual assault. Let's see what it says.
All right, so there's no statute of limitations in many cases. Many states have eliminated the statute of limitations for felony, sexual assault, rape, sexual assault of a minor as well.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Mm,
Bring it. Is that criminal or civil or both?
Both.
I think it's both,
yeah.
which
So
means
everyone's fair game still, if there's
everyone's fair
evidence.
game. You got to prove it, though, dude.
Yeah, and and we all know from
You
from
want to
trial.
prosecute. Do you imagine what kind of defense team Bill Gates had put together?
Oh gosh, it would make OJ's defense team seem like a bunch of junior high debate kind of
Yeah,
a
yeah,
debate team.
yeah.
But okay, well, once again, we were talking about a few things during the week, as Brandon and I are wont to do, and he asked, can you legally ignore a police officer? Like if he tells you to do something, what's the law say about that?
It depends. Are you breaking the law or are you just walking down the street?
Let's try one of each. Let's get an example. Let's say that because that leads me to my next question. Because what does probable cause really mean?
Probable cause was what a reasonable person would believe in the situation. So if you're walking down the street and Popo comes up and does a stop on you and you haven't done anything, I think you could walk away. If he asks you questions, I, okay, that's a hard question.
Well, once again, I'm not playing stump the chump here because
Yeah,
you're the man when it
but it
comes
is
to that.
stump the chump. It is a stump the chump question because it's hard to answer. Like I've told my girls, if you're driving your car and somebody comes up behind you with lights and you're close to the house, you come to the house and I'll handle it. You get pulled over on the side of the road, you call me. That's what they did. I was there in 5 minutes to make sure nothing happened to them. So just walking down the street, that doesn't happen very often, Carcass, where
Uh,
you're
I, I I agree
walking
with
down the
you.
street and someone, police officer comes up and, hey, what are you doing? That doesn't happen. I, I don't see that happening in Dallas at all. Uh, for
But
instance,
what
I got
about
pulled. Did I
probable
tell you the
cause
time I got pulled over? Good. Here's a good scenario. Did I ever tell you about the time I got pulled over?
for driving your ex's Porsche?
Porsche? Yeah.
Yeah.
I did nothing wrong. He said I was swerving.
Oh,
Well,
you're trying to drive a stick for the first time in who
yeah,
knows how
that's
long.
right. So get out of the car. I'm getting out of the car. Get Lowell on the phone. That was his boss, Chief Kennedy. That's different. I'm going to tell. I'm going to come back at them. I'm not going to do what they want me to do.
So let's suppose that you're walking down the street and you're kind of staggering around and you're kind of staring at the sky and then wobbling around, and a police officer says, "Hey, come over here. I need to talk to you."
Well, that's a whole different thing because I think he has a right to stop you and inquire what's going on and to determine whether you're a risk to yourself or anyone in the public. Because
So he
that's
has
the
probable
standard on a
cause.
public, yeah, that's a public intoxication. You have to be in danger yourself or somebody else. And I would say you're in, you potentially could fall and crack your head open.
Right.
Yeah,
Or
that's
maybe
different.
maybe someone popped you one and you're just staggering out of the building, and then that creates a different scenario. But either
You
way,
see how like all these rioters and stuff in Minnesota get right up to police officers, they don't do anything,
yeah,
but they have the right to defend themselves. So you start spitting in their face, they're going to come back at you.
right. If they put hands on, then it's
Yeah,
on like Donkey Kong, as they say.
yeah. So, but I would say that the scenario, if you're walking down the street and getting bullied by a popo, just doesn't happen very much. First of all, popo's not on feet very much. They're either on a horse, on a bike, or in a
Okay.
car.
Yeah,
There ain't that street cop deal that much anymore where they're directing
that's
traffic.
that's more of a New York or a Boston or a Philadelphia thing where they
Yeah,
still have beat cops.
yeah. I'm going to repeat what I always say, the less you say, the better you are.
That's your best advice for sure.
Yeah.
Stop talking.
Don't eat the cheese.
That's another that's another good piece of advice. We'll have to
Don't eat the cheese.
we're gonna have to talk to Brandon about that one. But so what's happening these days in with Stalcup law? Or what are they got big
We're,
cases? They got
we're
stuff that
busy.
you can talk about, or
Well, cocaine's back on the street. I'll say that. Usually we're just seeing fentanyl, but all of a sudden we're seeing a rise in cocaine cases. Fentanyl was the main drug, and it's after the new year, so people are deciding to get divorced after the holidays. They can't stand each other anymore. So the divorces are up this time of year. So we're busy.
I'm really curious about the cocaine thing though, because that just seems like, I mean, I'm not part of the drug culture, so I don't know if it's a cyclical thing like music or fashion or whatever.
But
But
it's so expensive compared to meth. You can buy a $25 rock of meth, but cocaine's still 120, $200 a gram. But it's still gonna be covered. Cut
isn't
with
there going to be?
fentanyl.
Isn't there still the fear that that stuff is laced with fentanyl also?
Yes, absolutely. No question. I always ask some kid that comes in here either dealing or possessed, and I always look at them and say, "Hey, where'd you get that dope, anyways?" Oh, I got it from so and so. Well, where do you think he got it? Yeah, I don't know. You think he got it from some scientist, from some scientist in a big building? He walked in and got it from somebody that knows how to make that stuff? He goes, no. I said, or do you think he got it on the alley from some idiot that just dealing stuff and cutting stuff, not knowing what he's doing? So you put stuff in your body, you don't even know where it came from, dude. That is scary.
That's insanity, is what it is.
How
But
many times have you heard about people having committing suicide or overdosing with stuff they never knew was laced with fentanyl?
well, it seems to be happening more often than
More
not.
often than not. That's exactly what happens.
Hmm.
And fentanyl's tough.
Yeah, I just I don't get it, but I I don't get a lot of things, but things are it's a real thing, and it's something that we have to look at and deal with. Um, kind of like these silly Epstein files. But I'm like you. I'm just sick and tired of hearing about it. So either
Yeah.
either
Either
do something about it.
indict them, sue them, or shut up. I'm
Yeah,
sick of it.
I just worry about. In the problem is we're kind of at a tipping point, and which reminds me of a band that I like that wrote this song called Tipping Point. And you're going to fall on one side or the other. There's no middle ground anymore. I mean, if they don't do anything, I think that the reaction from the country is going to be overwhelming. And if they do something, it could be catastrophic for the country. I just don't think there's any middle ground with this thing.
You're
But
not going to see anybody indicted on this thing.
you don't think so?
Nah, you're going to see it roll on, dude.
Man.
We got enough going on. Look, we got enough going on. It's back here.
Yeah. Right on, as AC/DC would say. Well, we appreciate everyone joining us this week, and please like and subscribe on the YouTube channel, and send us an email, lessonswithmylawyer@gmail.com. Ask us a question. Be happy to answer it. I know Brett would like to have some prep time on some of these, because I can't believe I actually stumped him today, and it's never my intention to make anyone look bad, especially someone with skins on the wall like you do. But
No, man, you're just asking questions that probably happened in 1984, but they don't happen in 2026.
right on. Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's progress. Won't they
Yeah,
don't they
it is
call that progress?
progress. Yeah, it's progress.
Right on. Well, thanks again for everyone that's watching and listening. And until next week, have a good week. We'll see you, Brett.
Y'all be good.